Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh my God.
What?
I was trying to think of like, something like drink related.
Oh, like last week where we did sips and salutations.
Yes! Something
Oh.
like that, but it
So
didn't come out.
plop,
That's the
plop,
only thing I.
fizz, fizz.
Do you know what drink this is?
There you go. What drink this is?
I got, listen, about to choke up
Oh.
in here. I know,
Mhm.
right? No, it's not sickness. That went down the wrong pipe, as the old folks would say. Um, no, I got me some quote unquote sweet red wine in a solo cup
Why is it quote unquote sweet red?
because it don't taste sweet at all. It tastes a little. It's a little on the drier side of things to my liking. You know me, so
Hmm.
it tastes more like a sweet Cabernet or Merlot, like trying to like disguise itself, and it's just it's not doing what it needs to do.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right. I'll survive. I will survive. Oh, as long as I got a drink in my cup, I know I will survive. No, I'm playing.
Oh
What you
my.
got?
Um. Well, I, I've got
Mm,
some. I've got. Um. It's
mm.
whiskey. It's whiskey Wednesday.
Oh my!
I
Now listen,
know.
how we switch roles? You that's a little bit heavy for your
Not
palate.
only is it whiskey Wednesday, I mixed it with some Coke. Not Coke. Cola, because we don't have
Okay,
Coke. So that's dark on dark on dark, which is
listen,
a
you
lot for me.
you taking it to the streets. I don't
Right
know
on
what's
a
happening.
school night.
Right? Listen,
And
okay.
hold on, and I don't think I would. It would be me if I didn't mess it up a little bit.
Oh Lord, what'd you try to add to it to make it fancy and
I
bougie?
didn't try to make it fancy, but my I didn't know what I was going to have at the last minute, so so we had a bottle of. It's not called Bullet, but it's like Bulletin. I don't know, Bulletet.
ETIN?
Yes,
Yeah.
and it was an old fashioned mix. So an old fashioned is really made with whiskey. Oh my goodness,
Oh
whiskey.
Lord. Oh wait, hold on. Hold on. It done got to already. Hold
No, an
on.
old fashioned is really a whiskey base, if I'm not mistaken. So
Right.
I was like, okay, well, I don't want an old fashioned or whatever, and I didn't want to drink it straight over the rocks. So I'm like, I'll mix it with some cola. So I went to do that, but our cola is canned. It wasn't refrigerated. The
Now hold
bullet,
on. Can I pause real quick?
I guess so.
Why do you keep calling it cola? Is it because it's no name or is it
Yes,
that's what okay.
yes.
I thought I was following, but then I'm like, you putting a lot of emphasis
It's
on
not
calling it
Pepsi and it's
cola.
not Coke. It's Sam's Choice.
Okay, cola. Okay,
So
I
it's
got you.
cola.
Hi friends. I just
Hi,
y'all know
friends.
I be
Hi,
trying to help y'all
friends.
out follow this heifer because I was confused for a little bit. I'm like, why she keep saying cola like that?
So
Girls
yeah.
pop.
So yeah, but it's no, but it's not Sprite and it's not Dr Pepper. You know, it's specifically like cola flavored pop.
Listen,
So
isn't it such a shame that we're in an era where we find ourselves like being politically correct or like making sure like it's like okay I won't say Coke because I know it's not Coke, it's cola,
well,
it's
I mean, I could have
I,
said Coke, but I don't know. It's not, and I know some people who call Coke everything. That they call it like a Sunkist, a Sprite, a grape knee high. Everything is a Coke. That's what they use the word.
no ain't no
Yes,
way.
there are some people in some regions of this country who use the word pop Coke as the word for pop.
Mm-mm,
I
that's not
promise
right.
you. I know. So
That's misleading.
I know. That's why I'm differentiating. Because
Okay, I got you.
typically cola or Coke or Pepsi, if I have a choice of soda pop, it is going to be the last choice I ever take. I'll drink usually anything before I drink a Coke. You know what I mean? So if
Right.
you tell me you have Coke, I might order lemonade because I'm thinking you only got Coke when it turns out you got Sprite.
Right. So
You know,
listen, when you be mad, you're like, oh no, that's all right. Let me get some lemonade. Then they walk out and got a Sprite or something. Like, wait, hold on, wait,
got some Fanta pineapple.
right? And called it Coke. I'd pop somebody in the throat.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, so to get back to my drink before we get off the,
Okay,
it don't take much for us.
right at
Um,
all.
the what am I drinking? An old is this that's that old fashioned or Manhattan? I don't know,
You said
whichever
an
one it
old
is.
fashioned.
It's an old.
You said an old fashioned is whiskey
It's
based.
it's in a green. It's in the green bottle. I think it was the old fashioned, not the Manhattan. It might have been the Manhattan. Either one of them. I didn't
I
want
feel
to
like
drink
you
it.
are reading a Dr. Seuss story to me right now.
Either
Could have been
one.
Manhattan. Not sure if it would happen. Well, could have been an old fashioned, but then not a Manhattan.
I
I
didn't
was like, what
either.
is happening right now?
I didn't want to drink either one of them just over ice. Although I like
Okay,
whiskey, but not necessarily on the rocks. I'm
right.
not grown enough for that. So I mixed it with the Coke, Cola, Pepsi, whatever. But it wasn't. It was room temperature. So I went to go grab some ice, and my daughter was like, "Our ice machine isn't working." So for whatever reason, the ice machine isn't working. I don't know why. So I was like, "Hmm, I don't want to drink room temperature. It's not going to be good."
Right.
But
Mm-mm.
lo and behold, in our
No, wait.
freezer,
Mm-mm. I already know, but go ahead.
we had some frozen grapes. So I just used those as ice cubes.
Okay, no, that's not what I was thinking. I thought you were going to say like you grabbed a popsicle or something. What do you mean you have like you like regular frozen grapes or like you bought? Because I asked that. I'm asking that because I had just seen, I don't know if it was Walmart or Aldi's, sold frozen grapes. I don't know why you wouldn't freeze your own to save money, but it was like in a package.
That's what I have.
Oh, you so bougie. Oh, you so
I don't
bougie.
know why, and you're absolutely right. Why would
It's
I?
the whole, because I'm a package person, so I honestly I do get it. I can't even judge you because if I had seen it in the pack, I'm like, oh, frozen
And the thing was,
grapes.
you didn't get nearly as many grapes for like twice the money as if I just would have went and bought the grapes.
That's how they get us.
But these were also cotton candy grapes.
That's how they get us, Beth. You could have got some at Aldi's and froze them
I know, and
and rolled them in some Kool-Aid.
I know these were rolled in something. Um,
Yeah, where'd you get them from?
Aldi,
Yeah,
my
that's where I
store.
seen it because yeah, I had seen it and I was like, I thought it was pretty cool, but then I seen the price. I'm like, well, dang, I might as well get.
It's ridiculous. But and
Yes.
we have the nerve to not be eating them. That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
Just
Right.
stupid. So
Well, listen, I can
anyway,
tell. I can tell because you substituted for your ice chips in your drink.
so and I've got some of those metal squared ice cubes but I don't like them. I don't think.
What you mean?
You know those metal cubes that you freeze?
Uh-uh.
Yes, you do.
Heifer, no, I don't.
They're like stainless steel cubes. They come
Why
like
would
in a
you put
because
cold metal in your drink anyway?
you
That sounds
free
nasty.
you freeze them, and that way you always have an ice cube. And then when you're done with
That's
them, you wash them off. You put them back in their little ice cube tray. There's like 6 of them, and you freeze them.
that sounds like it would make your drink taste metally.
Well, I don't know. It does. I don't know. I don't
I
like
bet it
it.
gives it an after flavor or something. You can't probably use it in certain drinks.
And the thing is, I'm drinking out of a stainless steel Yeti cup as it is. So I was like, I don't want stainless steel on stainless steel in my drink.
Right.
So anyway, so
This
I'm
noisy
drinking
for no reason.
a little bit of
Grape
something
grape infused old fashioned
in,
Manhattan. What happened?
with, with Coke.
You already know. So
That makes me sound
friends,
like an alcohol. I swear, it makes me sound like an alcoholic with all that
no,
stuff.
not at all. You sound crazy, but not an alcoholic.
Okay, good.
No. Yeah.
Um, and speaking of really quickly before we get into, we haven't. I mean, we. This is the wild, wild west. We're just talking about nonsense here. Speaking of Aldi, I found the great. You know, I love my Aldi girl, but I
Mm-hmm.
found the greatest find at Aldi. Actually, I didn't find it. My daughter found it. And she brought it home.
Okay. Food item or
Snicker
non-food item?
food.
Of course. Okay. I just want to make sure we're on the same page because I was about to lose interest. But go ahead, proceed.
Snickerdoodle dusted almonds. So good.
What did you find?
Snickerdoodle dusted almonds.
Snickerdoodle dusted almonds. Okay. Okay.
No, they were so good. You know, sometimes they have like the wasabi flavored almonds, and then they have the, um, like they'll have like the espresso like covered, like it's kind of just lightly dusted on the almond. But this was like snickerdoodle. It had like cinnamon and I don't know what else, sugar. It almost even tasted like butter. Like it was like they took cinnamon, sugar, and butter and dusted the
Mm.
almond. So good,
Well,
so
it's
so
funny
good.
that you say that because guess what I bought?
What?
Blueberry dusted almonds from Walmart.
Really?
And the only reason I got them, I was doing my Walmart order. I was scrolling through, and then they had the rollback section, and I always like browse through that just to see what's on sale. Duh, and they were on sale because nuts in general are just
So
expensive,
expensive. So
and
expensive.
especially if you got yours at Aldi's, if it's like through Walmart, name brand, Blue Diamond, and all these other things, is going to be out the wazoo. But
$10, like $10,
yeah,
literally for a
for
pack of almond. It's ridiculous.
yes, yes, these were on sale. It's a nice little can, and it wasn't a big can, but the smaller can, and it was on sale for $2.49. First of all, it was just cool because the can itself was a pretty color. Like I said, I'm a package person. I feel like any company that has a research and development should hire me to oh, what does the consumer think about this? I'm their girl. Anything pretty, you got me. So the blue diamond, the can itself was just a cute, like bluish purple hue color, and then when you crack it open, oh, they were
Were
pretty.
they
These are
good?
some, and they were good. They had they're blueberry. If you have no desire to taste anything blueberry, these are definitely not it. And like I said, they're coated and they look. I'm gonna take a picture. I'm gonna send it to you later. The almond itself is a really pretty bluish purple color and stuff, and not super sweet, but like I said, that blueberry flavor is definitely there. They were on
See,
sale.
I would never put that combination together. Not that I would put together. Not that I would put a snickerdoodle dusted almond,
Right.
but I don't think I don't know if that I would think of blueberry almond.
And they're good because you know what, almonds are not my favorite.
Mine
Like I,
either.
I prefer a cashew
Oh, girl.
or a Brazil nut,
Mm,
macadamia.
mm.
But so almond is
Pecan.
least, but
I sound like a pecan.
or pecan, walnut even. But like almond to me because
It's
the
dry and gets stuck in your throat. Makes me have to cough all the
yes,
time.
the texture, even when you crunch on it, it has a weird crunch to it. So like I said, I mean, I'll eat it, but or like in a salad, I guess like was it slivered
A
onions,
sliver, yeah. Uh
almonds,
huh.
onions. I meant almonds. Yeah, that's fine. But like just to snack on, it's not my go-to tree nut to snack on. But
Right.
these, like I said, again, packaging and just how it looked, I had to get it. But I'm happy with the purchase, though. I would get them again if they were on
I
sale.
I had to put the other ones away. I had my fingertips was so dusty from eating all. I mean, I was like, Beth, put it down. I felt like the
Hilarious.
hamburger. It was bad. I was like,
No,
put your
have
little
you had
dusty fingers down. Put these almonds down because I was about to
have
go
you
through
had
them.
those toffee crunch cashews? It's like they have like a little bit, almost like a sugary glazed shell on the outside of them. And
Uh-uh.
oh, who has them? I think
Who makes
maybe
those?
Walmart sells them. We like when I was in Philly, me and Elle tore them. I don't know why I would even get them because the way we went through those things, it was like a toffee crunch, and I almost want to say like a coconut like covered cashew. Oh, the
Mm-mm.
best, the
You
best.
know what? It's funny about toffee is that I don't think I like toffee. Like,
What you mean?
wait a second. I know on spec, I'm like, if you were to offer me some toffee, I'm like, no. When I think about a Score bar,
Mm.
or what's the other bar that's
Heath,
covered in toffee? Heath
Heath.
bar. If you were to ask me that, I'd be like, do you want some? I'd be like, no. I don't.
Really?
No, it's okay. However, once I start eating it,
Oh,
I
the
love
buttery
it.
goodness. The buttery goodness.
But initially, the thought of it, I'm like, no, I could like pass up on it. But if I by mistake eat a bite of one, then I'm like, okay, I like it. But then I think with the chocolate, it's sometimes chocolate's too much. Like they ruin everything by putting chocolate on it.
Yeah, first of all, I'm gonna need you to stop blaspheming because no. But what I
Chocolate
will,
ruins so much. That's
are
a
you
fact.
serious?
Oh my goodness, it overpowers. And how come I can't
No,
go
that's bananas. Bananas.
cho- but banana is but it might overpower, but banana is subtle. He don't
What?
come out like, Bogart and like he's going to take over. He's a subtle takeover. Chocolate's like, I am here, move out the way.
That
That
is
is chocolate.
definitely
Nope.
banana.
I
What
don't
is
think so.
subtle about a banana? Let me tell you something. I remember
Because they
I
don't
made a.
mean to be. They don't mean to be. They just can't.
How
They don't.
you
It's like they don't
figure?
know their. They don't know how strong they are. They don't know
How
their own strength.
I want
Chocolate
to
knows its
know.
own strength and enters the room to take over.
I want to know how you just turned a banana into a shy individual, meek and timid. What in the world? No, bananas got you fooled in because you put banana in anything, and that's all you're gonna taste.
Makes it
I
sweeter.
no,
Sweeter.
it makes it banana. You can put 15 fruits and vegetables in a smoothie and add one tiny, you can add a half a banana. Most recipes call for half a banana. You know why? Because it's already choking you in the throat.
It is because he knows that his job is to make the smoothie sweet without you having to add unnecessary sugar.
What I'm gonna need you to do is stop turning a banana into a political candidate. Um, he knows his role in the food group, and what he's trying to do is an uplift and encourage. No, Beth, no,
Well, I
ridiculous.
know that I can't go to a restaurant and get dessert without it being a chocolate cheesecake, death by chocolate, a chocolate almond this, a chocolate this, and a brownie with a chocolate that, and a little bit of chocolate, and then a brownie with extra chocolate chips. And it can't just be a chocolate chip cookie; it has to be a chocolate chunk cookie. Why so much
You know
chocolate?
why? You know why, Beth? Because it's what the people want.
Well,
Research has proven that you're an alien and that everybody else is just fine with chocolate.
don't. I mean, I like chocolate in its place, and not. I want other options.
I
Other
can't.
options.
I can't with you. It's absolutely ridiculous.
It's too much, man. I make chocolate chip cookies, homemade chocolate chip cookies,
And you
and
put
I put
5
like,
chocolate
yep, like
chips,
five chocolate chips in the batter
which is just
because
absolutely ridiculous.
it overpower. Because honestly, I think I just like the cookie, like the Toll House cookie or the cookie. What kind of cookie is that without the chocolate chips?
A
Like
sugar cookie?
But it's not really a sugar cookie because if you look up a recipe for a sugar cookie, it's different than a recipe for a chocolate chip cookie minus the chocolate chips.
Does your drink have caffeine in it? Why did you just speed up like Twister just now? What in the world? But it's not the same as chocolate chip cookie because chocolate chip cookie has a different recipe. If you look up at the recipe, it's going to be like look comes out when you move your lips. Oh my gosh, I can't stand
Oh.
you. But no, then you can't call it a chocolate chip cookie. Don't say you made a chocolate chip cookies then. That is not
So
right.
what's that cookie called without the chocolate chips? Is it a butter? It's not really a butter cookie either. It's not a sugar cookie.
I would put it more on the line of a butter cookie.
I think butter cookies use a lot more butter too, though. But I mean,
Oh
maybe.
Lord, I can't get. There's no right answer for you, Beth. No right answer. Moving on. Effa. Trying to give you options. No, no, that's not it. Because well, what about no, no, that's not it either. Because it just
Well,
doesn't know.
you're the food connoisseur. I thought you would know some things.
Food, not desserts. I don't even bake.
I know you don't. Yeah, I know
Mm-mm.
you're more of
I'm
a.
not a sweets person like that.
Yeah, you're not a sweet person.
Mm-mm. Okay, so
Okay.
let's see. So, friends, I mean, y'all are still here with us, so again, welcome. But the crazy
Hi,
thing
everybody.
is, I know, right? What y'all may not know is, although me and Beth are speaking right now, we were actually in each other's presence hanging out just a little while ago, so it was so much fun. We tossed around the idea of doing an episode, like a special edition with us both being in the same time and space. But we were like, nah, we're going to enjoy our time together and just hang out and catch up and stuff. So we did that. And Beth was here in Indiana visiting. So she didn't stay long. But we did get a chance to hang out and stuff. Right before she came, I was down with the illness. Surprise, 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 surprise,
Surprise,
surprise,
surprise, shock. As they say,
surprise.
shocker.
Shocker. So yes, I was sick. I caught COVID. I did test positive for COVID for, I believe this now is like the sixth time. I'm sure I've broken some
I just
sort of record.
I just assume that you always have it.
And it just decides to pop up
And
whenever.
yeah, I just assume that you always have it. And then if you feel good, maybe that week you're negative. But outside of that, you you just test when you're feeling good and be like, oh, guess what? I'm negative.
Right. And,
Just like most people test when they don't feel good, and you turn out they're positive. You're like, no,
hmm,
you have COVID.
something's
But
going
when you
right.
have a really good week, you're like, I'm feeling good this week. Let me go take a COVID test. Negative. That's what you do.
Because, and you know what the crazy thing is, because, and what made me get tested, it wasn't that, some of the known symptoms, some of the, like, for sure, you got the fever, the chills, body ache, all this other stuff, right? Didn't have none of that. What happened was, at the start of it, before I went to get tested, you know me, I was coughing and sneezing. But I've been coughing for how long? We've done a podcast when I talked about this. I
A
had
year
this
and a
cough
half
a year,
since we've started.
whatever. But a few weeks ago, I've been having this cough, right? Because even then, I had missed our session because I was sick, but just like, coughing and sneezing. So I had this cough for a few weeks. It's funny because when that did die down, then I start sneezing. I was at work and I honestly thought it was the office space. Like, I'm like, oh man, they need to change the filters. I've been sneezing. Like, I'm thinking it's allergies. My nose, I'm always talking about being congested. I had all this pressure. I felt it. And so my work buddy, our buddy, Jody, the second day of it, she's like, you might want to go to like convenient care, because the second day, when I would swallow, I would get like an ear pain. It was like turning into an earache. Anytime I swallowed, it was like so much pressure and all this other stuff. So she was like, how about you visit convenient care and see if they can get you like an antibiotic before it turns into like an ear infection or a sinus infection. I was like, bet. You know what? I just might do that. But then when I got out of the office, which happened the day before, it's like when I got into the open air, we keep the air on in the office and stuff. So it's just like, it's closed, it's circulated. That's why I'm thinking, oh, allergies, sinus. When I would get outside and when I would get home, I would be much better. I wasn't sneezing, nothing. I'm like, man, I just needed that fresh air. So the second day when it happened, same thing happened. I walked out, was going to my car. I instantly started feeling better. I was like, oh, I just needed some fresh air. That's all. So I was taking some big, deep breaths of fresh air. I was on my way to get my little one from aftercare. And so on my way to aftercare, I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to go to convenient care because clearly I just need to be outside, get some sun and some fresh air, and I'm good. I got to aftercare, got out the car, and when I started walking to the building, I started to get dizzy. And it was
Like you felt like you were gonna like have to like you need like when your blood pressure drops type dizzy,
um
or just like your head started. You know what I
but it
mean?
was like all head, to the point where I thought it was my glasses. Like like when you wear prescription glasses, if you turn them crooked,
Yes,
it
it
throws it
can
off
jack
because,
you
like,
up.
yes, it will mess you up, right? So I kept trying to adjust my glasses, and I was like, I'm walking, I'm like, oof, like I feel a little dizzy. I get inside to sign in, and sign out my little one, and they're bringing kids from outside because at a certain time they bring them in and they give them what they call dinner or whatever. But it's at 5 o'clock. That's more like supper. I don't. There's a big difference. That's a whole nother episode. But anyway, so they're bringing in the kids at 5, and Any other time, it's kids. It's a group of kids. They're loud. They're coming in from outside. I don't think nothing of it. That day, though, it was like the walls were closing in on me. Like it sounded like all those little kids were standing around me yelling, and I just kept getting more dizzy, and like I had to lean up against the wall. It was bad. So because of that, I'm like, okay, yeah, I better go ahead and go to convenient care now. But still not thinking COVID. I'm still thinking
Right.
sinus because I
Right.
remember years ago my mom was working. She worked at a hotel, and she like got dizzy and stuff, went to the hospital because like she almost like not passed out, but like she got real dizzy, like vertigo and all this other stuff. She had a bad sinus infection, and they told her at the time like you can get sinus infection so bad that it throws off your equilibrium or whatever. It's like it messes something in your nose and all this other stuff. So when that happened, that's what I automatically thought. I'm like, oh man, yeah, this is just like a really bad sinus infection. I don't know what it was, Beth, but just from walking to go get my little one, walking back to the car, by the time I got to convenient care and walked in, I'm sweating. I mean, and it wasn't that hot outside. I'm starting to sweat, and then like when I get in to check in, get up to the counter to check in, the dude's asking me questions, and I'm out of breath. Like every time I answered him, like I've been to convenient care before, so they were just verifying information. Every question he asked, I'm like, yeah, that's right. And like it's like I couldn't catch my
Get
breath.
enough breath. Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. So then, and it was pretty empty in there. Thank goodness. Oh, I think I was pretty much the only one. Was me and another lady. So got in pretty quick. And like when you go back, they do the vitals. So she's like, let me go ahead and swipe your forehead with she had a little forehead thermometer thing. She does it, and she's like, "Oh," she's like, "You got a bit of a fever." She's like, "It's she's like, "You got like a low grade. It was like 100.6 or something like that." And I was like, "Really?" And listen, now I wear wigs, right? So I just thought my bangs was on my forehead though, and I'm like it just trapped the heat in.
That,
So
oh Lord, that's gonna give you
it's
a
just
few.
it's the bang 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 bang. It's the bang 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 bang.
Oh Lord.
But no, but so she said that I had a fever, so to get me in the room, and again, like, and I hadn't walked that far of a distance, but I'm in there, and she's asking me questions, stuff, allergies to pills and medications and stuff, and I'm just like, and at this time now I'm sitting down and still breathing heavy. So I was telling her my symptoms and stuff. She's like, and I see you breathe a little heavy. Do you have asthma? I was like, I do, but I was like, I haven't done
You don't know
anything
where
just
this
now
flare up
to
came from, right?
yeah, to be huffing like I am and like trying to it just felt like the air was thick, like I couldn't get a good breath in to answer the question. So I told her my symptoms as far as, and I'm still on the side of sinus, right? Sinus allergies. I'm like, I'm not sure if it's like sinus or allergies. I'm telling her everything I went through. I said, but I did notice when I went to go get my little one, I was like, I got dizzy. And she's like, huh. And she goes, do you want a COVID test? I was like, I mean, sure, no harm, no foul, I guess. Knock that out the way or whatever. Did it. She came back and she's like, now, you know, uh, like I can't tell you because I'm not a doctor. But she gave me like the positive symbol. She's like, but you are positive for COVID. I was like, what? Like, man.
I
But
what's so crazy is that fever and that dizziness all like happened within an hour. So I wonder if you would have say you went to urgent care earlier in the day. I
right.
wonder if you would have had that fever or what. I wonder, like, because it all like what precipitated it all to happen like within that hour of time.
You
You
know
know what
what's
I mean?
crazy? Well, what I honestly think it was me moving. Like in the office, I have a desk job, so I don't have much movement. I get up to go to the printer, but I mean the printer is only so many feet away, right? I feel like when I went to go get my little one, that little trek from my car up to the like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like it like moved something around or something that like activated it because I at the office now. Granted, I was sneezing and stuff, didn't have a fever, wasn't short of breath, da da da
You
da
weren't
da.
you weren't even going to go to right. You were going to cancel your urgent care and not go to urgent care because you didn't think it
Because
was
hey, once I
that
got
big of a
outside,
deal, right?
exactly, and my car from where from where I work to get to the car from the office, it's a few steps. You know what I mean? So it's like even then, walking to my car, I'm like, oh, I feel good because hey, I'm outside. But I really think it was just the fact of that walk.
That's so
I don't
crazy.
know.
Well, and like you said, the kids all they're making noise and how it all just
Oh,
kind of got to you.
Beth,
You know
I
what
mean,
I mean? It made you super sensitive to it.
it was bad. Like I looked at the young girl who works the front desk, and she like looked at like she kind of gave me like a head tilt, and she like the "Are you okay?"
Okay.
And I was like, mm-mm. I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm about to go to convenient care because I'm not feeling. She's like, oh my gosh, I hope but like, oh, it was bad. So what's crazy is okay, tested positive right now. You and our friend Carly were coming in town. So of course, as soon as she said I tested positive, my heart dropped because I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to see my friends and it's gonna be horrible. Um so the doctor comes in now, of course, she tells me and I act surprised again because I'm like, oh my gosh, what? Because the nurse wasn't like
Supposed to tell you.
it wasn't like take like I guess I don't know what that is. I don't know what that means. But yeah, she was like, being that I'm not the doctor, I can't. She's like, would you take it? So
They're
the doctor's
technically
like,
not qualified to read the tests.
but it's a negative or positive test.
No.
That's no that okay. But so the doctor comes in, real cool lady, and so she's like, okay, so you did test positive for COVID, and now, granted, although this is my sixth time, the last time, I don't know, it's been a minute, I feel like. So I said, okay, so, I'm thinking of y'all, right? And I'm like, okay, so does that mean, like I said, I feel a little bit out of touch because I know some things have changed a little bit in regards to COVID, how they deal with it and everything. Well, first of all, let's back up. I couldn't get Paxlovid because of some of the medications I'm on. So she was like, I can't give you Paxlovid, she said, because it's not going to really do much for you because of the medications you're on and stuff like that. She's like, now there is something kind of similar to Paxlovid. She said, however, most insurances don't cover it, and it's $700. I was like,
Isn't that
yeah,
ridiculous? Why even have a
no,
commercial for it?
no, thank you. I'm like,
Why
mm-mm.
even offer it if it's COVID? Get Paxlovid. Why?
Well, no,
Why
no,
are you?
it was a similar thing that like she couldn't give me Paxlovid, so the alternative, or I guess it's similar to
It's expensive
Paxlovid.
too, though. Paxlovid.
Yeah, yeah. hmm So she was like, "It's $700." And I love the fact that she was so down to earth about it. She's like, "Listen, I wouldn't pay $700 for it because it doesn't even work that great." She said, "I wouldn't even pay
Right.
$100 for it." So I'm like, "Yep, sounds good to me." I said, "So what's your suggestion of something I can take over the counter?" She's like, "Alka Seltzer cold and flu and Flonase." She said those really are good with the symptoms. Take that, and you'll be good. I was like, okay. I was like, now, so what am I supposed to do? I said, I feel a little out of touch. Do I have to quarantine, isolate myself? And the look this lady was giving me as if I was crazy, Beth. She's like shaking her head. She's like, mm-mm. She said, matter of fact, you could have went back to work, honestly, and just mask up. She said, but the fact that you have a fever when when you got here and we like tested and seen that you have a low grade fever, now you have to wait 24 hours before returning to work. And so she's like, so now if you go a full 24 hours and are fever free and things like that, you can go back to work. I was like, oh, okay. I said, well, let me ask you this then. Let's take it a step further. Because I was like, my best friends are coming into town. Am I going to be able to, like be around them, or like do I have to? She again looking at me like I'm crazy. She's like, you're fine. I was like, well, I mean, mask up. And she's like, I wouldn't lick a spoon and give it to them, but like, you'll be, she's like, when are they coming in? I said, well, they come in Friday evening, but we'll probably get together Saturday. She's like, that's 2 days, 3 days away. You'll be fine. I'm like, oh, okay. And
So
so
you
she gave
must
me,
have had a mild case of it. You know what I
but,
mean?
and it's like, well, no, she's like, the guidelines have changed so much. She's like things have changed so much that it's almost like the common cold, like, you know what I
Or
mean? It's
like
like,
you're like the flu or something. Yeah.
yeah. And so
But
she gave me a sheet of like, the do's and don'ts and all this other stuff, because even so now, my little one was with me, right? Oh, because I now when COVID and stuff first broke out, if one person in the house got it, you shut the whole house down. It's
Right.
not like that. So like when she was sitting there, I was like, should I get her tested? Should I hold her back from school? She's like, she can go to school. And on the paper that she gave me, it was like, when to return to work or school. Can your those in your household? It was like send them as long as they don't have symptoms. They're
Or
go
fever,
ahead.
and so they're not contagious.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was
Well, I
like,
know the last time I had COVID, though, I feel like because I was so sick
yeah,
that nobody would have wanted to be around me. You know what I mean? Because I felt like it
mm-hmm,
was so bad, they would have been afraid that they were going to get the heebie-jeebies just because I was so sick. But I
yeah.
mean, you were going about your daily activities and with just a little bit of discomfort.
Well,
So
and
I
and
guess,
the thing, I mean, and it's crazy because honestly, and now how it is, like I said, aside from the dizziness, I wouldn't have went in because I went outside, felt good. Okay, it's my sinus and allergy still because and I went to work. I have been working the past couple of days, and granted, I was sneezing and stuff, but again, I thought it was allergies because it just felt real itchy. My eyes would water. It was a lot of sinus pressure. Not and like I think the last time you got sick, you had like the real bad headache and stuff. I didn't have the
from the tip
headache.
of my head to the tip of my toes, I
I'm
was
telling right,
in
and
pain.
body aches and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was moving around just fine. No body aches whatsoever. No headaches. Now I had sinus pressure, and it like I could feel it. Like I was walking around the office like pressing on like my upper cheeks, like trying to press around my nose and stuff to like relieve some kind of pressure, but
Right.
never had a headache. So
You know
again,
what would
like
help that?
what's that?
Neti
No,
pot.
no, no. I don't even know why I
Net,
said what's that because I
neti pot.
knew this heifer. Why that is the most
Neti
redonkulous.
pot. It is not. It
Yes,
is
it
a
is.
game changer.
It's a game breaker. That's what it
Have
is.
you?
Why would you
You've
stick something up
never
your nose?
tried. You don't stick it up your nose. You
You
pour
do
the
too,
water.
Beth.
You pour the water into your nose.
How does it get in your nose, Beth?
You
You
take
don't
the
airborne
teapot
it
and you take the teapot and you tip it into your nostril, and
after you stick the little
the
the
little
tip of the teapot.
it's if you stick your finger at the tip of your nose too.
Whatever. But
I'm
nothing comes
telling
out of my
you,
finger into my
game.
brain.
What?
I said nothing comes out of my finger into my brain.
It doesn't go into your brain.
Lies, lies. Now that so allegedly 10 years down the line, if you
It's
or
just
someone you listen,
water. What is it? What is going to go in your brain?
if you or someone you know have been a user of the neti pot, you
What
may have a
it it is literally saline solution. So what is going to get trapped in your brain? And they even recommend that you don't use like faucet water, that you use a distilled water so that the water is clean. What is going to get trapped in your brain? It doesn't even get that far. It literally goes through your sinus cavity passageway in one, down the other. And I'm
lies.
telling you, when it breaks free, that other through the other side, it's like a jailbreak. I'm not lying. It's like a jailbreak. When you get up in there and it comes through and goes down, it is like hallelujah. A prisoner has been
Well,
released.
listen, now, speaking of prisoners being released, I know you mentioned that you almost had some jail time. So we had our visit, we had fun, then it was time for you to go home. Um, and so I took you to the airport. Everything was fine and dandy. Got there on time. You had a little bit of a delay. And then what happened after that, Beth?
Okay, first of all,
Because yeah, listen, friends, and this is going to be my first time hearing details of this because we're texting, hey, hope you have a safe flight, da 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 da, and Beth was like, I'm about to go to jail, and that was the last thing we heard, other than that she made it home. But my friend, what happened, Beth? I'm
what I
dying to hear
said
this.
was, I said there are going to be a few less people that get off this plane than got on, and I'm going to be in handcuffs. Is what I said.
AKA, I'm going to jail. What
Okay,
happened?
so it was a lovely trip. It was all I needed. I wish I would have had a little bit longer in town because I wanted to go by my old job and see some people. I just didn't have enough time. It was literally,
Right.
in and out.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, I knew it was going to be a long day because my flight left at 9:30 p.m. It did
Oof.
not get in until 11:30, and I
Oof.
live an hour and a half from the airport.
Oh
And so
Lord.
I knew it was going to be a long day, long night,
Right.
everything. You drop me off, I'm good. Look up, flight's delayed. Now it's not leaving until 10:30.
Oh my,
I'm
it
like,
had pushed back even further.
yeah, so I'm just like, okay. All right. So now I'm not getting in. It's a 2 hour flight. Now I'm not getting into 12:30. I'm an hour and a half. So I'm not getting home until
Oh
2 o'clock in the
my
morning.
gosh.
But it's like, okay, that's okay. You can power through it. You can power through it. It's fine. It's fine. So I get to the gate. I guess there was a late aircraft. Finally, the plane that we're going to be leaving on comes in, and they just have to get the passengers off and then get it straightened up and get us on.
Okay.
Now, I'm gonna tell you, I went the cheap route. I did Frontier. And if I was going on a real trip, long flight, I might do a major airline. But this is a 2 hour flight. I'm in, I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going the cheap route. I
Listen,
can
you didn't even have bags.
I
You
didn't have any
came with a duffel
bags.
bag.
I had a backpack. I'm
Right.
like, I can do a 2 hour flight for $50 all day. I'm there. It's
Love it.
good. Right. So I get there, and next thing I know, and see, now I have to be careful how I say this. And I say this every week. I say I got to be careful how I say this
Yes, Lord.
because
Oh,
I can say this being the person that I am,
yeah.
the demographic that I am.
Got you. Got you.
I can say certain things
Right.
about people who might meet my same demographic
Of course. Of
that
course.
someone else might not be able to say.
Don't do it.
I'm not, what I'm going to say is,
No, I'm saying the
I'm,
people that ain't of that
oh, okay,
demographic,
I
don't
got
do it.
you.
Don't do it. Don't
So
test them
I'm
waters.
minding my business.
Right.
And here comes the ladies in the green polo shirts and the black pants walking up to the gate,
The
to the
frontier
desk.
ladies?
Yes, girl,
Okay.
with the green,
Mm-hmm.
walking up to the desk. And I see them walking up to the desk and I'm like, okay, they're young-ish. I would say maybe 20s-ish somewhere.
Oh, okay.
One has her long ponytail. I see it flipping and flopping. She what do you say? She is switching as she is
Okay.
walking to her podium, her position, getting set up. And next thing I know, over the loudspeaker, now it is 10, it's 10 o'clock at night. So the majority of flights had left.
Right.
We are in the very last gate at the Indianapolis airport in Terminal A. I think I think I was at A3. So it's at the very end of A. Nobody else is there but the people who are waiting for this flight to Orlando.
Okay.
I hear on the intercom, all right, if y'all are waiting to get on flight 4838, I'm going to tell you now, get your bags together. And if you have a carry-on or if you have a personal item, I want each and every one of y'all to get up and come and bring it to the front and make sure it fit because we will be checking every bag. And if it don't fit, you will be paying more. I was just like, oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord. Is
I'm
this the
sorry
one
for
with the
the fact.
ponytail?
This is the one with the ponytail.
Yeah, I can tell already. Listen, you know how I know? That ponytail to her is power.
Because she was
This
switching and that ponytail was swaying as she was making her way to the podium.
26 inches of ignorance on the back of her head. That's what that means. So right now she about to show out and show her tail because she think she
Because
got
she
the
got
power.
the
I
power.
got the power.
And
Okay.
as soon as she opened her mouth, I'm like, Lord help me.
You can hear the
Please.
tone. Now
And
granted, I get it because let
it's
me
it's a thankless job probably maybe at
right.
times.
Right. And
And
you
she might
probably
have been
already
working
deal with
all day
crazies.
long. She
Right.
probably had maybe encountered some hooligan travelers.
Behavior. Yep.
I get it.
I know.
I
I know.
appreciate that. But now I'm gonna say before whatever gate you left, you take a big deep breath, you woo-saw, and you leave that mess at that gate. And now I need you to come
Boom.
to this gate with a different
Boom.
attitude.
Exactly. New gate, new life. New
Right?
gate, new life.
I don't need to hear all of the
Stank.
attitudinal and stank in your voice as you pick up
I can already imagine.
the
I heard it,
intercom.
and you did a perfect job. But I can hear it too. I'm gonna let you know right now.
That's
If
exact.
you got a personal item, go ahead and bring it up because we will be checking everyone. Oh,
Thank you.
oh.
Now you gonna add. Now you didn't set it all like crass and all crazy, but then you gonna add thank you because you a professional.
Right. Like that didn't change the scenario. Shut up.
So right then and there, I was like, oh my goodness. So I'm gonna tell you why even a little bit. That didn't give me fear and trepidation, but I'm like, I'm about to pay for a bag because technically speaking, now I do this all the time, and maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I'm telling on myself.
Okay.
I take my backpack and I take my purse. Technically speaking, I think your purse is your personal item.
Yeah.
Your backpack would be a carry-on, but it's not a carry-on. It's literally to me but the backpack also qualifies as a personal item. But being the
Right.
fact that I have a backpack and a purse, technically only one of them really, you only are allowed one personal item.
Okay.
But typically I carry a crossbody purse. I cross that body purse. I cross that purse. I cross that purse across my body.
Right.
I put my jacket on over top of it. I always have a sweater, a cover or something that I position in front of my front so you can't see said purse. And I got my backpack on my shoulder.
Okay.
No harm, no foul.
Sounds
Well,
innocent enough.
right? I do it all the time. I did it on the way there. Nobody, no harm, no foul, I guess. Nobody says nothing. I do it all the time. Now, it did just so happen, I did just happen to switch out purses.
Okay.
And I brought my bigger purse. And if you know me, I'm a fan of a purse inside a purse.
Oh.
I do the little purse inside the big purse.
Beth is a fan of a purse inside a duffel bag. If you knew the stuff, oh, that's a whole nother episode. The stuff that this chick carries on her, you could ask Beth, "Hey, you got a pizza cutter in your you got a pizza cutter I could use?" Oh yeah, hold on, let me check my purse. Didn't one time you had a rolling pin? I could have sworn you had a rolling pin.
No, I had a can opener.
Oh my bad. Okay,
Yeah.
excuse me.
You never know when you might need to open some beans. So anyway,
Roll that
so
beautiful bean footage.
So I happen to have my big purse this time, and I'm like, darn it, this is not going to work this time because first of all, it's a tote kind of a purse. It doesn't have a strap that it can fit across my body, so I can't like strap it across my body,
Oh
and
Lord.
it is very what's the word I'm looking for? It's a square bag. It's not really a tote, but it's square. It's structured.
Okay.
So once I heard Miss Thing go off and say what she had to say, and
Kenyatta.
there was two. I was gonna call her something else, but
Bon Kui
I'll
Kui.
do that. Yep, I was gonna go there, but I was trying to be nice. Um, so as soon as I heard her, and there were two of them, but she was clearly the alpha of the two. Okay,
But you
because
know the other one's gonna be the backup, and
she
say something to her. I wish you would.
she came up and she grabbed a hold of that CB intercom thing and didn't even give the other chick a chance to even like do it. So I was
Wow.
like, let me go and get my life together because I don't know what I'm gonna do because now if I have to pay for a bag and because I did not do it before the flight and it is Frontier known to nickel and dime you to death,
Listen,
I'm
because
gonna
that
be paying
$50 ticket that you got, your bag gonna be
it's
$175.
right. I'm gonna pay $175 for my purse.
Right.
So let me see if I can somehow manage to like finagle this and get it together. So I get up, go to the restroom, and I'm like, okay, let me see. I got a full length mirror in there. Let me try to put this big square bag on underneath my jean jacket, which was not big enough, and see if it doesn't show. Then I'm gonna take my sweater and like kind of like throw it over the bag and then put my backpack on my shoulder and let me see how I look. Oh, you look like a fool. No, that's not going to work. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's not going to work. Now
Wrong
let me
answer.
see, can I somehow put this bag over my neck put the purse in front of me, and put my jacket on, close my jacket. No, you look like a bigger fool. Take it off, try again. Okay, can I somehow take my sweater, wrap it around my neck like it's a scarf, and carry and have it drape over?
Oh
Uh,
my.
Nothing was working. Nothing was working.
You were
So,
trying all these looks in the bathroom?
yes, yes.
Beth,
So I'm like, all
I'm
right.
telling you
I'm
right
like,
now, I'm already getting hot thinking about, you know me. You know I sweat at the drop of a hat. I would have came out that bathroom looking so suspicious because I would have had water pouring from my forehead from all the different things that I would have tried to do to, oh my gosh.
so I just at this point I ended up texting my husband. I'm like, I'm gonna have to pay for this dumb bag. I'm gonna have to pay for this dumb bag. So I'm like, whatever. It is what it is. I'm gonna try to do it. So what I ended up doing was I ended up putting my purse. I just put my jean jacket on, put my purse on my shoulder, the way I would normally carry it.
Mm-hmm.
Put I put the sweater like kind of in front of me to the side. It's kind of a big bulky sweater that I could like I used it to like cover up on the plane. I kind
Yeah.
of put that, carried it on my side, kind of like over, tried to do it over my purse, and then I put my backpack on top of like it. And I was like, I'm just gonna walk, and hopefully they'll be so busy up there they won't get to check every bag. And I did already check. Like when she first made the announcement, I did go up there, take my backpack, make sure it fit in the personal space item, and it did. And so
Okay.
I'm like, maybe they saw me kind of come up and check and made sure that it checked, so they won't stop me again because they realized that I did check. That's what they told everybody to do.
Right.
So I'm gonna try, and maybe they'll be so busy. There's kids, there's people. There are 4 wheelchairs lined up at the gate. That means 4 people in. I'm not lying. 4 people in wheelchairs lined up at the gate. Maybe they'll be so busy worrying with them that I can just like slide on past, and they won't even like pay no attention to me. So as we did that, I waited. I was kind of wait to the to. I didn't want to wait till the crowd thinned out too much where all eyes could be on
Right.
me,
Right. Right.
but I
Right.
didn't want to be where it was a lot of confusion and commotion because then they might be looking for people. So I
And
just was
double
like,
down
okay,
on the,
right,
yeah.
right. So I tried to play it real cool. I found me a friend I could talk to in line. She was doing the same thing that I was doing. She was like, oh, they're going to try and make me pay for a bag. I said, girl, me and you, let's do this together. So she had her neck pillow. She put her neck pillow on the bottom of like a wrapped around her purse so that they would not really like to see if it would like hide her purse. So they would just see the neck pillow.
Yeah.
Um. Anyway, Bonquiqui was on the right side, and then
Mm.
her friend Michelle was on the left side. Michelle was a little bit more poised and less loud. So I was like, I'm gonna try to get in Michelle's lane and like go
Right.
that
Right.
way.
Right.
And so I got my boarding pass ready, did it. And Michelle was like, thank you. Have a nice day. Okay, enjoy your flight. And so I could see she was being a little bit more reasonable. She wasn't as like, okay, this might work. This might work.
Got you.
Girl. So I got up there, had it ready. I was like, right here. She's like, yeah. I was like, your hair is beautiful. And she's like, oh, thank you. I'm like, okay. I'm like, have a good night. She's like, you too. Skated right on past.
Go
So
ahead, buddy.
made it right
That's how
through.
we do.
That's how
That's
I'm
how
like, your
we
hair is
do.
so pretty. And so whatever. So made
Girl,
it
who
through.
did your hair? Yeah, I'm like, yeah. Yeah, that's how you do it. That's how you. And you
So
said it to
made it.
Michelle.
I said to Michelle, Bon
Okay.
Quiqui was on the other side, having an attitude with the wheelchair people and everybody else. So
How you
I
gonna have an attitude with the wheelchair people?
because you have an attitude with everybody. You could see she started the day with an attitude. She
Right.
chose violence when she got to the gate.
See, see, you done rolled up in here. Your wheels are too big on your
Listen,
chair.
okay, let me go back. Let me rewind it. So when she made the announcement, I was sitting in a chair that had a plug so I could charge my phone.
Yeah.
There happened to be a lady in a wheelchair who was next to me. And this lady was an older lady. She
Okay.
didn't look like me, but um, I had my bag on the chair next to me, and she had her bag next to that. And the way the wheelchair was positioned, like she kind of was like she probably didn't want me to sit there, but it was a free
Okay.
seat. I wasn't taking up her space, but it was kind of close to her.
Okay.
And I wanted you to let me know that I want to let you know that she let me know with her eyes that she saw me and she was watching her bags.
Okay.
So I was like,
Okay.
I got you. I'm gonna put my bag over here. I'm not messing with your bags, lady. I'm gonna leave you be. I smiled at her and went about my business.
Right.
Well, then after this announcement was made, and I went and made sure my bag fit, and it fit, and I came and sat back down. This was before I went to the bathroom to check and see if I was all good. She needed to go up there to see if her bag would fit. And so I thought to myself for a hot second, I'm like, should I offer to take her? I'm like,
Mm-mm. Nope. Nope.
there are people that get paid to do that. So let me just sit myself down and be quiet. I'm not. Nope. She will call some young fellow to come and help her. And she did. This dude was walking by. She was like, excuse me. Can you help me? And he was like, and he did work for the airport, but he was obviously already in the middle of doing something.
Yeah.
And she was like, he's like, what can I do? She goes, I need help. And he was like, okay.
Oh Lord.
He's like, what do you need? She's like, I need to go up there. I need somebody to help me check my bags. He's like, oh no, you're fine. He said, you see all those people up there, like talking to the like talking about the gate agents. He's like,
Yeah.
they see you here, they'll get you. And she was like, well, I need to check my bag. And he was like, oh, all right. He's like, are y'all together? Looking at me and her because, like I said, we were kind of sitting closely. And she said, no. I was like, okay,
Listen here, Joan of
lady. All
Arc.
right. That's fine. Whatever. I take my smile back. So
Right?
anyway, so he did. He took her up there, and when he got to the front, he wheeled her up there and grabbed her. Listen, it's so funny. He grabbed her. She had a carry-on bag, and he was grabbing her. And he looked at me as like if like I think maybe, and I could be wrong. Maybe wanting me to say, "Do you want me to help you take the bag up?" Because he had the wheelchair.
Oh. Mm-mm.
And I just looked at him.
Oh. Mm-mm. No.
um,
No.
and I was like, okay. I'm like, yeah, thank you. And I don't know why I said thank you because it was just like one of those things when like
Like when the people at the movie theaters like enjoy the movie, you
you're
too.
like, yeah, right. It was one of those. He took her. He was looking. I was like, okay, yeah, thank you. And I was just like, that was stupid because I don't know her. We're not together. She let you know. So anyway,
Right.
he takes her up to the front. What I tell you, bunquee. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Sir, put her. She needs to go. Sir, she needs to go. I hear her all the way back. And I was
Oh.
like, Lord. Okay. So at that point, they did that, and that's when I was like, let me get up and go to the bathroom and try to check myself and make sure, see what I can do to like not have to pay a fee.
Yeah.
So I do that, come and sit back down. And then lo and behold, some gentleman comes and sit next to me with two little girls. And it was
Okay.
fine. It was fine. He was traveling by himself with his two daughters.
Okay.
Until they sat next to me, and I realized that these girls were both on their tablets. Neither one of them had headphones on, and the
Oh.
volume was on both tablets at the same time, loud. Just
Oh
out
no.
in the loud. And I thought to
Oh
myself, you've
no.
got to be kidding me. Some people, and this man, I could tell that he was cursing his wife because she wasn't there, and he had these girls, and he was done. Like he was like, sit down here,
Just
just
let
have
them do
sit down.
whatever.
Yep, just sit down. Turn your tablet on, turn that on. Okay, sit down, be quiet. And he was just like, Lord, I made it. Let me just sit down. And I thought to myself, oh my goodness. And I'm hearing all these they each had a YouTube video on, each had
Oh
different
no.
YouTube video on. I was like, oh my goodness. So I got up. And anyway, so now, okay, so that's it. Now let's fast forward back to your hair is beautiful. Thank you. Enjoy your flight. I'm going to get on my seat.
Okay.
To my seat. Lo and behold, I sit down. I'm good. I'm fine. They're loading the plane up. Who sits behind me?
Who?
The man with the two daughters.
No.
And Dawn, when I tell you, from the time I sit down, the armrests.
Yeah.
You know how they lift up and down.
Yeah.
But if you let it drop, it like goes like you know what I mean? It kind of
Yeah.
makes that sound.
Uh-huh.
Those girls were playing with them nonstop.
Oh
And this
no.
man sat next, he was behind me. I was on the aisle. And then there were two people, there was a couple sitting next to me, the man sitting next to me, and then his wife had the window seat. So the two little girls were behind them, and their father was behind me.
Okay.
And when I tell you, from the moment they sat down, they started lifting up that armrest and putting it up and down and up and down and making it drop and making it drop. And the girls were fussing back and forth. Mara, that's mine. Mara's dad. Mara took They couldn't have been more than 3 and 4.
Oh my gosh.
They were young. Dawn, that is when I texted y'all and said, less people are going to get off this plane than got on, and I'm going to be in handcuffs because I was either about to get into a melee with the dad or the girls. One of the two. I was going to fight somebody.
And he didn't say anything to them?
He did not say a word. I was
Not
about
a
to fight.
word.
I was going to fight somebody. I would rather fight the dad, but if I had to take over the two, they was about to get it.
Did the couple next to you say anything?
Nobody was saying anything, and I almost asked the couple. I was wanting to say, like, okay, is it me? Am I being hypersensitive? Is there
Right.
something wrong? But I know they were aggravated, but they just weren't. I think they were looking at each other, giving themselves a look. But
Yeah.
I was like, is nobody going to say anything? And then across the aisle, not from me, but across the aisle from the dad and his two daughters, was another child, not a I don't know if it was a family, I don't know if it was two parents but it was another child. And so then when she heard them start doing the armrest,
Yes.
she started doing the armrest.
Oh
And
no.
I thought to myself, oh my
Mm-mm.
goodness, we haven't even taken off yet. Like everybody's not even on board yet. And it
No.
is going. And so I'm like, how can I like signal the flight attendants to like come and tell them to please say something to him without
Yes.
like saying it to them and then them directly saying it to him so that he knows I'm the one that said something to them. And I'm like trying to figure out that's not. So then I'm trying to figure out how to do that. And in the meantime, I decide to turn around and look at the girls and shoot death stares at them to see if that would help.
You better sit down. You better stop it right now.
And I could only see one, the one that was closest to the window. I could
Okay.
just see her eyes, and I would look at her like, "Don't do it." And she was paying no mind to me. And I was hoping that maybe her dad then would see me turning around. Like he couldn't see me, but he could see me looking back in that direction, knowing that I'm looking at your bad kids. And he would say something.
Right.
Brittany, please, Brittany, stop doing that. Okay, you should be quiet.
All right, honey.
Are
All
you
right.
what? And then you want
Oh
to call?
Lord.
You want to talk to mom? Let's talk to mom. Let's talk to mom. Okay, so let's call mama. Mama, hey, hey, mom. Okay, and so at that point, mom distracted them a little bit, and they talked to mom, and then she's like, Mom, Melee won't say nothing to me. She's taking. I was like, Lord, somebody please, somebody please,
Oh
somebody
my
please.
gosh.
It is going to be a long night. I got to sleep on this flight. I've got to sleep on this flight because when I get home, it's going to be midnight and I'm gonna have an hour and a half
Oh my
drive. I've got
goodness.
to be able to get some shut eye. Dawn, I don't know how long they did it for. It felt like the whole 2.5 2 hour plane ride,
Ain't
but
no
it
way,
wasn't.
Beth.
At some
Beth.
point, Dawn. I thought
Wait
I
a
was
minute. It's 11 o'clock. Why aren't they asleep?
no. They now that's what I'm gonna say. So at some point they stopped and they did fall asleep. But guess
Oh
what else was on
goodness.
the plane?
What?
A newborn baby.
Oh no.
So then when they finally settled, I swear I'm like, I could not write this. I could not write this. The baby started crying. Now I will say
Oh
this. I didn't feel as bad about the baby because it's a baby.
no. Right, right,
And
right.
I've traveled, although my kids did pretty well on planes. There's nothing you can
Mine
do about
did too.
a
Right.
crying baby. And I know the parents are embarrassed lots of times too because they don't want their any more than we want to be disturbed by a
Right.
crying baby. They don't want their baby to cry
They
and
don't
disturb
listen, they don't want
people.
their baby to be that baby.
Right. So I feel bad for them and I don't want to make them feel any worse. And it was newborn baby cry. You know what I mean? It was like when I say newborn baby, like,
like
yes,
baby goat
yes, like
whimpers.
under a
Yes.
month or 2 months cry. It wasn't like a while.
Oh,
So I was like, I bet you can tolerate that. And I had headphones. So I was like, just try to put them on and drown it out. And so it, at one point it did kind of settle down, but like when I texted y'all, I was like, we hadn't even taken off yet. I was like,
I
there's going to be a death on flight 3848 or
know.
whatever the flight
Listen,
was,
I had the
8343.
TV on. I had my phone in my hand. I was ready. I was either going to see you on the news or get a text. I was ready to go.
I was like,
That's
something is going to happen. Something is
hilarious.
going down on this plane. So we got through that. I made it. It's time to get off the flight. What is it with people
Oh my
trying to
gosh.
bum rush the
In the aisle, you can't
and
go
you
nowhere.
cannot go anywhere. And I am sitting right here. I'm in seat 26. You are at least in 32. What makes you think that you can bum rush up past everybody? The plane has landed. We're
Right.
on the tarmac. We're taxiing to the gate. As soon as they turn the seatbelt sign off, what makes you think that you are going to then hurdle over everybody else like you want to get off and need to get off more quickly than anybody else? You don't have a flight to connect to because now it's midnight and this is the final destination for the plane.
Right.
Where do you think that you're going?
I promise you. And I try not to use the word hate that often, but I hate when people do that. Like it annoys me because and then they be all up on you or all up on people. You can't get out, which makes me I can't get out of my seat anyway. But now you like up on me. You're pressing on the person in front of you. It's
Girl,
annoying. And
this
now you're
girl
sitting there,
came
and now you're standing there waiting like a fool. You look stupid because where you going?
no place to go. And this
No
girl
place to go.
came up from behind, don't know where she came up. I barely got my seatbelt off and she was like standing next to me, talking to the people next who like in the on the other side of the aisle from me. So there were three Spanish speaking ladies on the aisle across from me.
Okay.
Um, There were three Cuban ladies, and this lady, I believed, I don't know if she, not that it matters what, they were all, but I just know that they were Cuban, and I know that I believe she was as well. I'm not sure what she was, but they got off, and she saw them, and because she happened to stop right there because there was no place else for her to go, because at this point, nobody is moving, and she
Right.
hurdled herself 4 or 5 rows before it was time. She's stopping and talking to them, and they're speaking in Spanish. This chick has no awareness that she's got her backpack on her back and is just talking and laughing with her hands and everything. And like her backpack is like an inch from my face.
Oh no.
And so
Oh.
finally, I'm just like, and she's moving and not even thinking and talking. First of all, I'm already aggravated
Right.
because of the night that I've had so far.
Right.
Secondly, you have catapulted yourself in front of everybody else. You're oblivious to who's around you, and now you're about to wallop me with your backpack.
Oh
So
no.
at some point, I was like, okay, and I'm trying to like, like shield myself and like trying to
Right.
like get her attention to see oblivious, just a talking, a going, whatever. And finally, I grab her backpack and I kindly push it to her back in the aisle. I was like, lo siento. That's fine, but like, ooh.
For
So
my
then
non-Spanish speaking friends, Lo siento is I'm sorry. Go ahead, proceed.
Sorry. So then I'm like, okay, now I see this dude behind her who is trying to now move up ahead too. Girl, I put my foot in that aisle like, try it. This probably isn't very Christian like of me, but at this point,
But but because at
at,
some point
at some point,
you
it's
have to
enough is
bogart because
enough.
yes,
Enough is enough.
yes.
So we all start to deboard. I've been using that word a lot. I don't even know if it's a word. We
I
start to
don't know if that's a
deplane.
word. It didn't
I
sound
don't
right.
know.
It sounds like
Is
it's
it
close to debone. Like you debone meat. I don't know if you can deboard a plane, but go ahead
Is it
though.
deplane? Oh, deplane. I think we're starting to deplane. I think that's a word.
I don't. That don't sound right either. That sound. I
Okay.
don't know.
we start to get off the plane,
We start to
and
unboard.
I don't know. That doesn't sound.
Unboard?
I don't
Yeah.
know. That's like onboarding, and that's like what you do for a job.
Right.
I don't know.
Unboard. Unboard.
Okay, so we
On
start to get
board.
off.
Oh.
The ladies next to me, who they were a little bit. They were a little bit like, we have the right to get off first before you, even though we're all in the same aisle, and you don't have any more right to get off before me. But
Oh
okay,
goodness.
if you think that you do, and I'm going to let you go because who's to say who? Go ahead. But this
Right.
dude thinks that he is now going to go over my leg. Girl, when I tell you, I hopped up so fast and got to get up and get in front of him. He's like, oh. I was like, I wish you would. So not only did he's like, well, yeah, well, good. I act like I didn't even hear him. I stopped. I opened my overhead compartment where I had stored my backpack that wasn't supposed to be up there because it was a personal item. I put it on my back. And there were people ahead of me who were still waiting to go because they had not gotten to go because people had bought. I stopped, let them go first.
Right.
I was like, I was so fit to be tied. I was like, whatever. I was like, you are not about to get indignant with me, about to step over my leg. Anyway,
Right.
so it was just, so by then I was like, oh my goodness, okay, now I have a drive home. And I just like, I don't feel like it.
Wait, and so did you drive? Did you park at the airport?
I parked at Gold Park, Gold Park parking, whatever. So I'd take a shuttle. I
Oh,
almost missed
buddy,
this
you should have
shuttle.
had
I
somebody
saw that.
pick you up.
No, I no because I knew it was late, and I didn't want anybody to have to come pick me up. Everybody had to go to work the next morning, so I just was like, whatever. I drove
Oh.
there. I parked. I I parked. I had to go get the shuttle. I went down to get the shuttle. I called the people like on my claim ticket. They said there's a guy who'll be there in 10 minutes. I said, great. I have time to go to the bathroom and get down to the shuttle. I went to the bathroom, girl. Why did I see Gold Park there already there, and I could see that people had already boarded, and I got to run down to it, and I'm like, he's gonna leave me, and I don't want to wait any longer. So I
Right.
see him starting to pull off, girl. I take off, and he starts to pull out. I am banging on the window,
Oh my
and he
gosh.
stops, and then he starts to drive off again. So I bang again, and he looks at me. He's like, hold on, because he had tried to pull off, and because the parking spots are kind of at a slant, he was just trying to like pull off a little bit to like turn back so that I could get on properly. He's like, hold on, I got it. I was like, I'm sorry. I was like, I didn't know if I didn't want you to leave me. And so he let me on. We get to Gold Park parking, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yes, there's my car. He lets me out. I go to get my car, start it, pull off. Why does something feel weird? Rear back tire completely flat.
No.
Yes.
Shut up, Beth.
So then I'm like, oh no.
And how long?
So then
How
I
far of a drive did you have?
And it's an hour and a half. It's
Oh
usually about
my
2 hours, but because
gosh.
there was no traffic, it was gonna be an hour and a half.
Oh my
It's now
gosh.
after midnight. A lot of gas stations are closed. I'm like, what in the world am I gonna do?
Oh my
So
gosh.
I flat, like I try to run down. I don't run down, but I drive the car very slowly. I see another guy who was on the bus get off. I rolled down my window. I said, do you happen to have an air pump? He's like, no, I don't. I was like, my tire is completely flat. He goes, I don't. He goes, see if maybe they have one.
Oh
So
yeah.
I drive my car like flip, like vloop, 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 to the front of the thing.
Oh.
To the front of the thing, I park the car. The guy is in the bus. He's parked there, and I said, "Do you happen to have I said my tire is completely flat. Do you happen to have an air pump?" He goes, "No, I don't." He goes, "Go ask in the gate, like in the shack." It's a girl working the shack. She don't want to be there. I go up there.
Oh.
I said, I'm so sorry. I said, do you happen to have an air pump? I said, or some kind of a compressor. I said, my my tire is completely flat. She's like, no, I don't. I said, okay. I said, well, shoot, I'm gonna have to call roadside assistance. So I had to
Oh my
call roadside assistance.
gosh.
And so I told her, I said, will you let them come in and she's like, yeah. And I said, I don't know how long it's going to take. I said, but will you not charge me? Cause I had paid for my parking already before I left.
Oh, okay.
Not only was my flight delayed, so I was an hour late, but now I had to wait for roadside assistance. So I was going to be even more late leaving the parking spot. And
Yeah.
I'm like, can you just not like charge me anymore? Because, and she's like,
It's
no,
not your fault.
you'll be fine.
Okay,
So
good.
I do roadside assistance. It says they'll be there 1 o'clock.
Oh,
Okay.
Beth,
So
when
I
does this
wait.
nightmare
Wait
end?
a second, it doesn't.
Oh my gosh.
So I call her, they're gonna be there at 1. The guy calls me to make sure, confirm the address. He goes, this is the address. I said, yes. He says, that sounds like Gold Park. I was like, that's it. I said, I parked my car for the weekend. I said, tires flat. He said, okay. He said, I'll just wanted to make sure. He said, can you make sure that you have a spare? And I said, yes, I will. So I go out, check, there's the spare, perfect.
Okay.
He comes, changes it. I'm waiting for him. He does it. Doesn't take him very long, 15, 20 minutes. Out, in and out, no problem. He's like, okay, look, I need you to sign, make sure everything is okay. I sign. Dawn, I look down at my tire and it's a spare, but it's not a spare tire. It's a donut. Do you know what that means?
Isn't it gonna make it lopsided?
It's not just going to make it lopsided. You can't go over 50 miles an hour on a donut.
Oh my goodness.
Dawn, I have an hour and a half to 2 hour drive going 80 miles an hour.
Oh, listen, I don't even like math, but if little Timmy has,
Dawn,
oh my
I'm
gosh.
on interstate. First of all, I'm on 528, which is the toll road that you have to take to get to 95,
Oh my
going
gosh, Beth.
55 miles an hour the whole trip.
My body just instantly got tired knowing that. Like knowing that it was late, you didn't have this horrible flight, you didn't have this horrible
Dawn,
experience.
I put on
Oh,
Waze, and to tell you to watch Waze in every minute increasingly add time to my arrival time, add
no.
minutes to
Why
my
would you
arrival
do
time.
that?
Huh?
Oh, why would you do that? Why would you? I wouldn't want to see that. That would make, I would start crying.
I
I was
didn't
about
want
to,
to see it, but I put on Waze just to make sure to know if there was a like an accident or anything. You know what I mean? To
why?
kind of
It
like just
wouldn't have mattered. By the time you got to it, the accident would have been cleared up and gone.
Dawn. When I tell you, it took me so long. I was like, I was tired, and I was just like, best just stay awake. Just try to stay awake. Just try to
Oh
stay
my
awake. There's not a
gosh.
lot of people on the road. That was a good thing.
Okay. What time
But
did you get
but
home, Beth?
4 o'clock.
No, you did not.
I did.
Friends, and this is a real reaction because I did not know that this heifer got home. That, are you serious,
Yep.
Beth? You
I
might.
listen. So listen.
Oh
You
my
want to hear what
god.
I did? I got in the
What?
house. Of course, the dogs woke up. I took Narco out to the bathroom. By the time I got to bed, it was 4:30, and I don't care how trashy and dirty I sound. I don't care. I took my clothes off. I put on my pajamas. I did not wash my face.
I
I
don't
didn't brush
care.
my teeth.
Listen.
Wait a second. I didn't do any of it. Got my butt in the bed. Rocky woke me up to feed him at 5:30.
Oh no,
So
ain't no
I
way.
wasn't even asleep. Got up, fed him, got back in the bed. Alarm clock goes off 6:30.
Oh my gosh.
I got up. I put on the exact same clothes I had just taken off an hour before, put them back on, brushed my teeth, and left and went to
Left
work.
where?
Went to work.
No, you didn't.
I did.
You went to work?
Yes.
Why?
I put some, because I didn't have I don't my time is limited
Oh my gosh,
and
Beth. Beth, I'm telling you, we
I'm
have
sorry,
to end right now because you just made me instantly tired. I feel like I have to sleep for you right now.
I
There
got
is
up.
no way.
I put my
Like,
clothes back on. I did put some deodorant on and I brushed my teeth. I'm like, I didn't wash my face. The makeup that was on my face was the makeup that was on my face. I put those same airport clothes on, did not care because don't forget, I still have this freaking donut on my car.
oh
I
my
had to go down the
gosh.
turnpike and 95 south to West Palm going 55 miles an hour.
Ain't no way, Beth. Let me tell you something. Let's back the story up. When I would have got home at 4 o'clock in the morning, guess where Dawn would have fell asleep at? You know I'm good for it. Would have fell asleep in the car. Sure would
I
have. Would have.
almost, I almost drove straight to work
You might as well
and
had
just
a.
and just slept in the parking lot.
You might as well had a. You would have got there on time.
I would have got there on
Oh
time because
my
I
gosh,
got to work
Beth.
late. Because I got to work late. It took me an extra half an hour to get to work.
I bet. Beth. I cannot emphasize enough how tired my body feels right now listening to that story and
So
knowing the
listen,
amount of time you had to spend that what's today? Oh my gosh. You probably still tired. You probably legit
I'm
got
so
jet lag.
exhausted. I am so exhausted, still tired. And I will tell you, for the past 2 days at work, I have been a zombie. Like yesterday when I got home from work, I I remember being at work and thinking to myself, like I've been reading the same emails over and over because I cannot comprehend what they're asking me. And I know I was asleep at my desk, but I believe I was asleep with my eyes open.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
in an area where people pass by all the time. Do you know how it is when you're so sleepy and you cannot keep your eyes open and or
Yes.
you're so tired? I wonder how much of a crazy fool I look like people walking past me because I have no idea what my face looked like. Because I know at some point I was completely like my eyes were open but I could not see out of my eyes. Yes, yes, one of those things. Or when your eye, like when your head. I know I was that way.
Oh my gosh, Beth. Beth. Oh, and you went to work. I would have been no good. 2 plus 2 is 17 in my book by that time. I'm so serious. Like the and let me tell you something. And I say that especially just with travel, with the trip and everything. Oh, Beth, my heart goes out for you because I know I'm a late sleeper. I will. Everybody will be in bed, and I don't know what it is. It's so crazy. I don't know. I can fall asleep so quick on the couch, and when I wake up and go get in the bed, I can't
Yeah,
get the same sleep, or it takes me a
yeah,
while. I'll end up like
yes,
staying up. I might as well just sleep in the front room, and I know L
right.
he hates it. Like so, he gets up early to go to work, right? So a lot of times it'll be like 3 o'clock, and I'm still on the couch. I fell asleep on the couch, and he's like, "Babe, why don't you come to bed?" He's like, he's getting up to get ready to go
Because you
head
know it'll
out.
disrupt your sleep. It'll
It
disrupt it, and you
will.
won't. It'll take a minute. Yeah,
And I don't know
yeah.
if it's the actual like me waking up and walking to bed and if I've awakened in that little period of time, but I don't get the same sleep. I can fall
It's
asleep
not.
so
Yeah,
easy on the couch and just be in it, and I'll force myself, and this is like every night. And I say that to say, like I said, and that's with getting that kind of sleep. And I function all right at work. I do good, but I couldn't imagine.
it was
Oh,
painful. It was, and so I did leave
oh,
work.
Beth.
I left work at a half an hour early, but it was only because I was like, listen. I said to my manager, I was like, he was real cool about it too, and I told him that I had that stupid donut. He's like, "Oh my goodness, please be safe," because I was telling them that like people are flying by. I know they are flipping me the bird.
Oh,
They are looking at me every kind of way, and so I just was driving my hands at 10 and 2, and I was looking straight ahead because I know they were shooting evil looks. I couldn't go. That was it. That's all I could do. And 95 is crazy.
did you have your blinkers on?
I did
Hazard.
not. I
Why
didn't. And I
not?
because I didn't think about it. And then but when I was leaving work and I left work like I said a half an hour early just so that I could beat the rush hour traffic and everybody the influx at 5 o'clock, everybody leaving. Um uh One of my coworkers said, she's like, why don't you put on your hazards so that at least people know when they're coming up on you that something is
Yes,
wrong. And I said, oh
Beth.
yeah, I should, I guess, because I just thought there wasn't anything wrong. I was just driving slow. So I didn't think
Beth.
about it. So I
People
did.
around you are doing 75 and 80. You're doing 50.
Excuse
You
me,
don't
they're
think
doing
there's
what?
nothing
They're doing who?
75 and 80.
No, they're not. No, they're not. This
What
is
were they doing?
95 south going towards Miami. They're doing 85 at the minimum. These fools are flying. Even
So
more of a reason why to
even
put
more of a
on.
reason why to have
Yes,
your
it is.
hazards on, Beth.
It is. It is.
Because
So I
when
put
you're
them
doing
on.
85 and come up, like you
You
don't
don't
notice how
realize
slow
how
a car
slow
is
the person
going.
is going. Absolutely. So I
Yes.
did. I didn't think about that on that morning. I was operating on very little brain power. So I didn't
You're
even
right.
think
I'm
about it.
sorry. I take back my shock and
So,
anger.
and I
You
know,
right. You
friends,
was in
I'm
your
so sorry. We are well over time. I mean, this is our longest one yet. We usually do like an hour, maybe an hour and 15, but now we're well into an hour and 20. So I'll let y'all go
No,
and
are
I'll
you
let you
serious?
go. Yeah, we're at an hour 25, girl.
No, you know what? My clock reset. That I had a call come through, and so I mean I ignored it or whatever. But when I ignored
I
it,
heard it too. I could hear it. I heard you I heard you lose me. I heard us
oh,
kind
okay.
of
And so when
disconnect.
it came back, it started at
It
zero
reset
again.
it.
So mine's at like an hour or something.
No, we're at 125. So it's
Oh
lengthy.
Lord. Okay, yeah.
People don't want
Let's.
to listen to us this long. But
Well, they've
anyway,
made
it
it
was
this
a
far.
crazy weekend. I was so happy to see you guys. It was a
We're
great.
happy to see
We had
you.
we had a great time A, B, C, and D again, and then we had a few extra people we got to see, and we didn't get to see a couple of people we wanted to see, and
Right.
but it was a quick trip. I miss you guys so much. Do not miss the town at all. But I was happy to come. I was happy to see
Whatever,
you
heifer.
guys.
But hey, and then okay, yeah, we still got we listen. We never planned, and that's the whole point of us working off the cuff. Plan to talk about the stuff that we plan to talk about, but at some point we got to incorporate because me and you are going to link back up again here in just a few weeks,
Yes,
and so
so
we got to tell our friends
excited.
about that.
So excited.
Yes,
So yeah, but I just had to get that off my chest. I'm still tired, so I'm gonna go in
I
there. I'm gonna probably
bet.
go in there and pass out right now. But it's just like
Please do.
it
I'm
took
so
me. I got home.
serious.
I left work a half an hour early. I got home at 6. So it took me 2 hours. It's just like
Did you get that tire replaced? Let's at least
they
end on
told
a
me.
good note.
They told me 4 to 5 days. I ordered from Sam's Club. I'm like, this is Sam's Club Tire Center. You
Right.
specialize in tires. Why is it taking you 4 to 5 days to order me a tire? So I do not have it fixed yet. The donut is still on it, but I've swapped cars with one of my family members because they work in town. So they can take
Okay.
my car and drive it around town. The donut is fine around town because you're not doing any more than
Right.
35, 40, and I'm using their car to drive on the highway. And so my car should be done by this weekend. So
Why do you say one of my family members like that? That's the equivalent of cola. One of your kids?
yes.
Okay, say that, Alpha. Like I'm so confused. One of my family members. I'm like, who? I'm your kids. I was drinking cola. Like what in the world? Oh, I can't stand you. All right, then. Well, on that note, we'll have to get together again and talk about all the other stuff that we didn't talk about as usual,
Yep.
and go from there.
Go from
All right,
there.
friends. Thank you
All
for
right.
joining us and listening on Beth's crazy, wild, tired story. Like when I say tired, like body tired. Beth, I'm about to go sleep for you.
I
For real, for
know,
real.
man.
Oh, so but until we see y'all again, well, see y'all. See you when I see you. Not really see you, but whatever. I ain't saying.
But I'm saying,
Go get some sleep,
good
heifer.
night.
Night.